Today we have Jimmy Diverging, who has made $275,000 and has profited $90,000 in this business. This is a very close story of mine. Let's go ahead and get into it.
The experience that came with it. I was able to like go out to like nice restaurants, buy like a little bit, better clothes, have some type of freedom, a little bit of freedom from the extra income.
Jimmy, how are you? How's everything, brother?
I'm doing great. How you doing over there?
Doing pretty good, bro. We're in the warm right now. I'm in the warm like you too, actually. You're in LA, right?
Yeah, it's pretty warm right now. I'm just dressed. I'm just a little overdressed, but it's warm out here.
Yeah, I'm in Miami now at the moment, so it's pretty warm here. Get to wear the short sleeves, which in New York can't do that much lately at this time of year, but it's pretty fun, bro. Well, look, I'm pretty happy to have you on here, bro. For those of you guys that don't know, Jimmy was part of Bespoke Auto Club, right? It was Bespoke Auto Club, the name, right? Which then we converted it to Corsa Auto Rental. We ended up splitting ways before I turned it into Corsa Auto Group. And yeah, Jimmy's been there from like almost the very beginning, close, very close. So you definitely seen it all from the very beginning, if that makes sense. You definitely saw me start it, kind of came in. You became the videographer of the business like what, like 8, 10 months into it, a year into it,
Yeah, but I would say like a little over a year.
like a little over
Well,
a year into it. You came into it. It was still Bespoke Auto Club. Then we changed it to Corsa Auto Club, and then we decided to just stick to Corsa Auto Rental, which I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we actually went ahead and changed to Corsa Auto Group now because we have different channels. But nonetheless, great person to have on here. Definitely super excited to have you on this and answer some questions. So we're gonna have 10 questions, maybe 14, depends how you answer some of them, and depends what's already been known. Let's get into it. You ready?
yeah.
So how does it feel to make the amount of money you've made, $275,000?
Uh, I mean, it was good. It was my first time getting into the six figure for sure. So things, my life elevated a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I've got to experience a little bit more and done things that as a kid I'm like, man, I can't wait to do this as an adult. So it was a great experience to be able to touch that money, in my 20s, honestly. So it was a great thing to go through for sure.
Why did you choose to get into sort of car rentals?
One, I love cars. Not as much as you, but I love cars. Growing up, I've, just like all the kids around my age at the time, Need for Speed, Fast and Furious. So I grew on to, liking cars. And then, I had to find a way that, like, I was like, okay, how am I gonna, be able to drive these cars or have access to these cars without, you know, I just basically didn't have the connections to get there. And then I found that this was like one of the ways for me to be able to make that happen. So that's kind of like how I got like into it. And of course being around you and you kind of introducing it to me, at first I didn't know exactly how everything was, but hanging around you, being around you and seeing how business was done and how, things was done definitely like inspired me a little bit. To be able to, kind of like follow that route, follow that path to do the things that I want to do, like drive you know all the nice cars, flexing a little bit. I'm not gonna lie,
So,
so yeah.
from when we separated, you started your car rental business like about what, 30 days within that time frame. Did you feel like you learned everything from basically doing it with me every single day, where like you felt confident I can do this? Because I didn't essentially teach you in the sense of like you bought a program and I walked through you. You were just there through everything, saw me do everything, basically learned firsthand. Um, Without realistically like ever thinking I'm gonna do this. And once we went ahead and spread ways, you said I'm gonna go ahead and do this myself as well. Would you say that being around me is better than maybe like teachings, or would a course be better?
um, this is more of a personal answers, but me is that I rather like a personal experience because that's the best way that I learn and the quickest way I could learn, rather than like I mean, I'm not knocking like the course, because you do learn from the course. But me personally, I just feel like it was better for me to learn, firsthand through experience and actually being in the field, like actually in the car, drop off, pickups, meeting the clients, and all the other background stuff that the back end stuff that has to do with it too. But definitely, the experience, in my opinion, is better than the course. Well, I haven't really, I haven't seen the new course you dropped, so I don't know if it's better. But
Yeah,
I'm
me
just saying, like,
personally, I like the
it was
course.
a
I think it
great
depends on the
experience.
person. It depends on the person for sure. Because
Yeah.
I like the course a little more because for you, you were with me for what, 2 years? So it's like a long time before you started your own. With the course, it's like you kind of learn everything right away because it's made for you to take action right away. Realistically, in a couple of days, you can take it all in, and then you have like steps to do everything and start making way right away. As opposed to when you're kind of following somebody around, you kind of like on their time, and you learn like little nuggets like here and there, here and there with the course it's like already put there here for you, ready to go, ready to make money. Kind of like, I mean, I like the course more. I kind of don't like to be like dependent on somebody else where like I have to wait to learn from them. I kind of want to like, hey, give me everything now so I can go ahead and take off. But I think it depends on the person. What is the most you've made in 1 month?
Um, Profit wise, probably like, I would say, 5 to maybe like 5 or 6K profit in 1 month.
Okay. What has the income from supercars done for you?
One, I was able to actually buy my own car, which is, because when I first moved out to LA, my first few years was me Ubering around, and I didn't really think I could afford the car that I have now. But that definitely helped me to get the car that I have now, which I really enjoy, and also the experience that came with it. I was able to like go out to like nice restaurants, buy like a little bit better clothes, look more nice, have some type of freedom, a little bit of freedom, from the extra income.
What have you learned from this experience?
What have I learned? The higher the risk, the higher the reward.
Do you generate income through brokering your own cars or both?
So both. So at first, I would say my first 3 or 4 months, I was brokering out cars. Putting my little point to sometimes half a point, depending on how long it is. Like if it's like a week, sometimes I do half a point. $50 on top per day, and that's for like the low end cars. The
Los
high end
Angeles
cars, like,
slang. A point means $100.
yeah. So, and that's for like the everyday, monthly, weekly cars. For like the higher end cars,
Yeah, if you're putting
it could be
a
like,
point on an everyday car or $100 on, that's 3 grand consistently every month. MRR, monthly recurring revenue, on one client, one deal.
and that's only on like the regular everyday car. If it's like a Lamborghini for like a week, it's 3 points a day. At most like 3 points a day. So you can
So
make,
300 times seven.
yeah,
Quick
you can
math.
make
Give it to
over
me. What is
2,000. 21.
21? How did you find out about me?
I mean, you found out about me. Hey, we kind of met like we met at Circus. So I was at
Yeah,
Circus.
yeah. So we met at the building right
Yeah.
before I started doing car
So
rentals.
yeah,
We
you
did a video on one of my personal cars before I was renting it out. Uh, and then we you stay in touch. I remember once it started to really take off, I think you hit me up like, "Yo, what's going on? What are you doing?" You know what's funny? I got the video memory like I think yesterday or 2 days ago when like I crashed the yellow Urus, the first Lamborghini I had. And I was like, "Whoa, that was a long time ago." But basically, we met in the same building. Did you know Supercar rentals existed before finding out about me?
I kind of had like an idea that people rent out like these nice cars and stuff like that, because I came from the video space, and we rent cars to do videos, and so I kind of have an awareness of like, oh, that people do rent out their supercars and the high end cars. I just never got into it, but I was aware of it.
What are your thoughts on like our friendship right now?
It's great, bro. Like, you've done a lot for me, I would say, in my life. We went through a lot together. I've learned a lot from you through the supercar rental space, and I was able to live a little bit with you too. So it was nice. Not complaining at all.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun memories. Being at 275K now, where are you looking to be at the end of this year?
Uh, well, I don't know if but I kind of personally slowed down a little bit. So a lot of my clients were out of town clients, and I had, probably like three or four that were monthly at the time. All my monthly clients, unfortunately for me, they got their own car. Fortunate for them, that they got their own car. So, that kind of like stopped. And then my, yeah, my out of state clients haven't been flying in as much, so
Kind of get
it's
more
kind of
clients.
slow.
Maybe you need that course at the end at the end of this. What is your all-time goal in this business?
Well, my all-time goal was, honestly, at one point I wanted to own like a supercar, and like have like a daily car, and then like, have like a truck, So like when I got into it, I was like,
Like
okay,
renting out or personally?
well, personally the daily, and then I would have like the truck and the supercar to be rented out. That was my goal, because I wanted those cars to pay for those car and the car that I'm driving daily. So that was the original goal, which at one point I did. Um, I got At one point I actually had four cars. So I had two Mercedes, the Audi, and the Beamer. And at one point, I was renting all of them out, and they was paying each other off and some more, But
Well, also
like I
broke.
said, yeah, and also broken like the higher end cars, the cars that I don't have that I have access to. Um, but things slowed down, so I had to return some of the cars and give up the leases on them. But yeah,
So how many vehicles are in your fleet now?
I only have my car, honestly. But I have like connection, like I have like access to probably like 10 or 15 right now off the top of my head.
Plus mine in LA as well. How much work per day in general have you put into making this happen?
The peak of it, I was barely putting in any work, to be honest with you. Like it was just retainer, clients coming back. All I really had to do was, the checkups, pick up, drop off, check up, make sure
You
the
never, yeah,
car
you
is
never really like
good.
promoted this business. You never like really like went out there and like got clients or anything like that. You kind of were like, oh,
Uh,
if you know I have cars, you know I have cars. If not, then not.
yeah, I'm just that type of a person, I'm not like a big too much of
Well, this
a
is a side
flex
thing for you as
flaunder.
well.
Yeah. It was more of like, if you know, you know. If you don't know, then you don't know. That's who I kind of been and who I always was. I'm not gonna lie, that was one thing that I kind of slacked on. Like I felt like if I was to do a lot more marketing towards it, things might have gone a different route. But at the time, I was just, not gonna lie, I was caught up a little bit with all the money I was making and just enjoying the life that I wanted to enjoy.
How long do you see yourself doing supercar rentals for?
I mean, I feel like it's a thing that you don't really, give up. You just have access, you just have connections for it, and then whenever there's clients, you just do the deal. It's not something that you could just easily give up. It's like you already have the knowledge, you already have anything, so like you could do it whenever you want, wherever you want, if you have access to it, and that's the good thing about it.
Jimmy, that's it. We got to the 14 questions. Is there anything you want to say to anybody watching this right now?
At first, when you start off, you might have a lot of questions, you might have a lot of confusions, you might have a lot of doubt. But with the right knowledge, and the right people around you, I'm pretty sure Ethan's have groups that will help you. Once you have that support system, it will make things easier for you, because there are people there that will help you, in all type of situations, because somebody's been through it before. So I would say, it might be scary or tough at first, But once you get it going, you know, you will hit a peak. Like you will get to where you want to be. You just have to maintain once you get there.
Jimmy, love that. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it.